approximately 24 hours ago, I released a video showing off my little spyware botnet program, and I've made a pretty neat console for it. It could print out in different colors, and it had a different colors itself. And I received a comment from creeperblade. He asked to make a tutorial for this, so that's what we are going to do today. I'll start off just by showing it and telling what we are going to be making. We're going to be making this console, and we'll be making so that we can input some you can input and it'll print out. Not only that I will show you how to make a few commands itself, and the commands we'll be making is, for instance, get IP, so that we can return the local IP and your global IP, because this is a pretty neat thing to have. So yeah, because a lot of people mistake your local IP for global IP. But then also we're going to be making the command start, and then you can write www.youtube.com, for instance, or google.com, press enter, and it'll open your browser. And it opened to my left right here. I can open it again. It should pop up, and yeah, you can see it just popped up. And we're going to making some other functions too, but yeah, we'll make them when we are typing. So let's just get started. I've just made a little new project over here called console, like Windows command prompt, because it looks like the command prompt. And then we're just going to make a new class. We can call it whatever we want to. I'm just going to make it call it console. Press enter. Then at the top we're going to be making the main function, so public static void main, and then in here just write new console, so that when this class here runs, it just creates a new instance of this class, or yeah, this class console. So if you're going to use it with some other classes, you're just going to put that in wherever you want it and just connect the things together. If you're able to program, well, yeah, then that shouldn't be a problem for you. Then let's start off by making a few variables. Public jframe frame, public jtextPane, and just call it console. Public jtextField input, and public jScrollPane just import them. And a shortcut for importing when typing in Eclipse, you just hold Control Shift and press 0, not on the numlock but on the top with the F keys, F11, that's 0, and then it'll just import. Or no, not 0, I meant O. So Control Shift and O, and then it just imports them. And it also sorts your imports as well. We also need another thing, and that's called public a styled document. So public styled document, and we just call it document. And what do we more need? And I'm just going to make another space here, make a boolean called trace, and then just set it to false. And that's already one of the things that we're going to be making as a command. I can show you, because I think it's good sometimes if you have a really complex console with a lot of other classes, and something's wrong, going to happen wrong. Like if I just write get, then you can see it says error, and it says Java lang array index out of bounds exception 1, and that means that, yeah, the get function, it wants another after it, but there's not another input after it, or yeah, what you saying. So it's just trying to get this IP here or some text after it, but it can't. So if I'm just writing get IP, then it works. And the trace thing is that I made a command called trace, and I can say true or false. So trace true, it just says tracing enabled. So now that when I write get IP, it at the start prints out the class and the path to the class, so we can see where it's printing out this data from. So if you are using other classes, then it'll say those names. And again, I can just write trace and then false, and then it's disabled. But yeah, let's get on with the tutorial. So that's why we have this boolean trace. Okay, so let's make the construct, so public console, and in here we're just going to be making all of our the initializing of the JFrame, and yeah, just opening and yeah, just creating the JFrame and its components. I'm a little confused right now, sorry. And if some of the things that I'm saying is hard to understand, then sorry, I bit my tongue. But yeah, let's just go on. So I want to make the window look like the my operating system. So we're just going to make a try catch, and inside here I'm just going to write UI manager dot set look and feel UI manager dot get system look and feel class name. So that what this does is that all the components for the JFrame, they look like my operating system is Windows, so it'll look like a Windows button when I'm using a J button, and not look like the Java button. But yeah, now let us initialize the JFrame. So frame equals new JFrame, and frame dot set title, and let's just set the title to console. And I'm hoping that you know what some of these things like set title means, and if you don't, then look up some other tutorials, because I'm not covering all the basics. I'm just only covering some of the non-basic things. But yeah, if you don't know what some of those basic things mean, then look them up, because I'm not going to explain them. You can ask and then I will answer in the comments, but I'm not going to mention them in the video itself. So, but yeah, let's go on. And then say frame dot set default. Stop freezing, computer. Yeah, but dot set default close operation, default close operation, and JFrame dot exit on close. And what that means is that when we press the exit button on the window, the program closes, or the program stops. So let's make the initialize the JText pane now. So console equals new JText pane, and then now I'm just going to initialize the input, the JText field. So input equals new JText field, and then just going to go over them one at a time so we can see what the differences I'm making to the console and the input to change the colors and stuff. But yeah, let's just add them to the frame itself. So scroll pane equals new J scroll pane, and in between parentheses say console, then say frame dot add input comma border layout dot south. So we are adding the input field to the bottom of the window. And then frame.add scroll pane to comma border layout center. And what that means is that we enter a setting or adding the scroll pane and console itself to the center of the window. Then we can just set the size. So frame set size 660 and 350, and I just had the Windows command prompt at the side and just keep changing the size until it kinda fits it. It don't fit it perfectly. I fitted it as the amount that I wanted it to. So yeah. And then a fast way to center the J-frame to or set the location of the J-frame to the center of the screen is by saying frame.set location relative to null. And you need to call the set size before, because if you change the size after this, then it'll only kinda be in the center, but I can just show you in a couple of seconds. And then I'm just going to say frame.set resize able to false, and frame.set visible to false. And holy crap, already 12 minutes has passed. But yeah, and we can just test it out and it should pop up. No? Oh. Yeah, I'm just... Stop it. Why are you coming? Show yourself. Oh, I said false. I meant to say true. Add the set visible. Yeah, I'm just dumb. And here we have the console. So we can just, right now it's in the center, but this is what's happening if you're setting the size after the set location relative to. So it's the top left corner that's in the center right now, because the size was a 1 before, so it can't be in the middle. If you probably you should get the idea. So that's why. We can just change a few more things, and I'll say that this is part 1. But don't worry, if the second part isn't uploaded by now, I'm still recording it, because I'm not going to stop recording before this is done. So yeah. But and then in our console part up here, we don't want to. Why isn't it typing? We don't want us to be able to type up here. So we're just going to say under console equals new jtextpane console dot set editable just hate when Eclipse does that. Set editable to false. So now we can type up there. We can also just, I like using the career new font, so we can just change the font too. So console set font new font parentheses and then some quotations and career. I suck at spelling to this. Career new, and then after the last quotation mark say comma font and plain, or you could use bold. I'm using plain. And then the font size, and I'm using 12 or 16 most of the time. And then let's just set the background of the console itself to a gray color. So let's go down here where we added them and say frame.get content pane dot set background, and then new color, and then just say whatever color you want to. I'm using a almost black color, more a grayish black, so 50-50-50, and just import the color. But if you're going to test it out now, you can see that the background it's not black or anything, or grayish, and that's because we need to set the opacure, or that was kind of wrong set, I think. We need to set it to false. So go up here to the console and say console.set opacure, or whatever it says, to false, and then we should have a grayish background. We don't. Tell me why. Oh yeah, I forgot something. In here say scroll pane, again spell it correctly, scroll pane dot get viewport dot set, and then opacure again to false. Now we should have, what the, okay, again, I'm just forgetting things. Scroll pane dot set opacure thingy to false, and now it's working. I know it. So now we have a kinda grayish background, and you can make it red or blue or black or purple, whatever color you want to. It's totally up to you. I like using the gray kinda black color, so that's why I'm using it. And we can also just remove this, if you probably can't see in the video, but you can see it on your own program. The console have a little, or the scroll pane have a little border around it. We can just remove it by saying, writing scroll pane dot set border to null. Then it should be removed. Yeah, now it's removed. We can just set the color of the input, and then I'll call this part 1 and upload it. So first of all, we're just going to ensure that we can edit it. So editable to true. We probably don't need to do that, but I'll just ensure that we are able to edit it. And then we are just going to say input set caret color to color dot white, and then say input dot set foreground color, and also to white. And if you probably guessed it, but input dot set the opacure thingy to false. And now it should be gray. And if you don't know what the caret thing is, then that's the little blinking thing after the position where you are typing. So if we are going to say set it to green, then it will be green. We can also, if you want to remove this little white border around it, we can also just go up to the top and say input dot set border to null, and then we have removed it. But I like having it there because then I can see where I'm typing. So when I go down here, you can kind of see it. The border is gone. But it's totally up to you if you want to keep it or not. I like keeping it. So I'm just going to make it as a comment. And we can just go up here to the console.set font and copy it down to the input here, so we have the same font and the same font size. Yeah. Okay, but let us say that this is, yeah, we're just going to end the video now. This was part 1 in creating this console thingy, and don't worry, I'll keep recording and uploading when I've recorded it. So if you're just watching and it was just uploaded for 5 minutes ago, then don't worry, in a couple of minutes the next video will be up too. And in the last part of this video, I don't know, probably 2 videos or 3 videos long, the total source code will be there. So if you don't bother watching it or just want the source code, then go to the last part and yeah, download it. I don't care, but you don't learn much just by copying. Um, but if you don't need to learn it, then yeah, copying wouldn't learn you anything, and yeah, you know what I mean. But anyways, this was part 1 in creating a console that looks like the Windows command prompt. So see you on the next part of this little series here. Yeah, we can call it that. But yeah, see ya.